Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Let's talk about Black Widow, shall we? It came out here in the UK on Wednesday, but now that it's open for all, United States of America, Disney Plus, yada yada yada, I thought it's more appropriate that I wait until today to give my review / discussion about said film. Now, this video will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to know about certain aspects of the film, it's probably best that you leave now, and then if you are personally wanting to watch it, go watch it, come back, and then let's see if our thoughts align or where we differ. If you're not bothered, then please carry on and smash that like button and all that kind of stuff. So then, I gotta say, there was a lot of sort of negativity surrounding this film in terms of the way that the press were hyping it up as some uber feminism, feminist film. This is gonna make men squee and all that pathetic stuff which the press do. I said a few videos ago, it really seems like the press is trying to bait people, and I didn't think they were trying to bait people to go to see the film. I didn't think they were baiting them in terms of reverse psychology. I think they were trying to bait people to stay away, so if the movie doesn't do well, then they have some built-in deniability. They can be like, oh, men were just so afraid to come to this amazing, powerful woman film that it just didn't do what it should. Oh my god, all men must die. And then you get banned from Twitter. Well, having watched the movie now, having seen it, having seen all the context, having seen everything, I have to say, I thought the film was okay. Now, I know that doesn't sound particularly complimentary, but the film's weird to me in as much as I feel as if it's been made by multiple different directors and multiple different writers. There are segments of the film which I really like, legitimately, truly like, where they had a very serious tone, and at the same time, what was going on the screen seemed to very much reflect that as well. Then they sort of had the typical MCU bit, you know, where it gets very kind of generic MCU movie. And then the final third was kind of absolutely pathetic and laughable, that I did find myself pissing myself laughing, but not for the reasons that the film would want me to piss myself laughing. So let's get to the sort of positive elements of it. Well, firstly, I think the film started off really well. It went back to 1995, which I thought was a little bit weird because they were wearing clothes as if it was 1985. But you know, I don't know if somebody checked the aesthetic, but they went back to 1995, and we had the family. You know, we had Natasha, we had her sister, and we had her father, who's going to be Red Guardian, and Rachel Weisz, who's the mother. And they're all actually based in Idaho. I think it's Idaho in the United States. And they were Russian agents. They were Russian agents. And the film starts with them having their orders that they've been either been compromised or they've done what they needed to do. And so they need to get out the country quick because the authorities are after them. Now, what they've said to the girls is that one day we're going to be going on a great adventure. And they said, girls, today, it's that day. So we have this really cool kind of scene at the beginning where we are getting this family, sort of smuggling this family out of the US, whereas the authorities are coming after them. And we see little snippets of Red Guardian kind of at his peak. He refrains from using his abilities till they get to the airfield. Then the plane is blocked in by a tractor or something, and then he just whoosh, like yeets the tractor with ease. Then he's shooting at the Americans who are coming after him. Rachel Weisz gets hit on the shoulder. So Natasha has to take over flying the plane. And I thought it was a good, exciting start to the film. And then when they arrive in Cuba, because obviously the Russian connection with Cuba, they get split up because they're not actually a family. In terms of they're not parents, they're not the parents of the two girls. The two girls aren't actually sisters, and the parents aren't actually married. The whole thing, all four of them were a plant, which is, again, I thought pretty neat. And then the girls seemingly get carted off, which I imagine to go to the Red Room, but it's done in a very a very kind of disturbing way, that they're putting cargo holds, and it's almost like human trafficking. And there's lots of different girls, and the fear on their faces, and the confusion and everything about it. I actually thought this is a really good start to this film. And so I was kind of like, where does I'm not here, where'd the positivity end? Because this is actually really good stuff. Then we get up to date. Now we come to present day, and we have this moment where a bunch of the widows are trying to take out a target. The target starts to run, and one of the widows is actually the sister of Natasha. Well, sister inverted commas, I should really say. And they chase down this woman, and Natasha's sister eventually kills her, but just before she dies, she sprays Natasha's sister with this like red mist, this red sort of, stuff. And what that does is it actually broke the programming. There's a mental program which has now gone into all of the widows, which allows them to be controlled. And they can be controlled, we find out later on in the film, any way that they want to, the person wants to control them. So he can just say to them, stop breathing, and they'll just stop breathing. And they'll just stop breathing until they either die or they get told to start breathing again. That's the sort of level of control. So when the control's broken from Natasha's sister, and she realizes that, oh my God, I've actually just murdered a friend. And her friend's just like, here's the rest of the vials. You need to free the girls. You need to free them. And so she ends up going on the run and is now being hunted by the Red Room, by the widows. So she sends... We get this little snippet of where Natasha is, and it picks up after the end of Civil War. That's where it picks up. So the Avengers are all broken up. Some of them are incarcerated. Some of them are not. The ones who aren't incarcerated obviously are not talking to the others. So Natasha was going to be brought in by General Scott. No, it's not General Scott. General Hulkman. General Hulk's true lover's father. Still not coming back to me. Great. He might come back later. And she decides, she gives them the slip because that's what she does. She's an assassin. She's built for this. This is what she's designed to do. And she sets up herself in a nice little camper van, and she just wants to ride things out for a while. However, she gets post from Budapest because she has like a P.O. box there, I guess, right next to the Hill versus Babyface one. You can check it out in the description box down below. Send me some candy. And suddenly she sees the vials are there. Her sister sent her the vials. And so she's just driving into town because she needs to get some supplies. Oh, you can't do that nowadays. And she gets attacked by Taskmaster, who's clearly a man, by the way. Clearly a man. And they have a pretty decent fight. And Taskmaster kicks the shit out of her. And but Taskmaster isn't there to assassinate Natasha. He's actually there to take the red vials. But Natasha manages to keep them, even though she gets thrown off a bridge. She manages to keep hold of them, and Taskmaster loses her. So we get this part where she goes to Budapest, find her sister, and this is where things start to... This is kind of like the last of the good bit for me of the film. When I say good bit, the film that the part that I was really invested in and really enjoying. She meets up with her sister. They have a really good fight in an apartment. And then they are attacked by a bunch of widows. They go on the run again. And her sister can't believe that she brought the vials back with her. You know, she's like, I sent them to get away, and you brought them back. But there's an interesting bit where one of the widows is coming after them both, and she falls off she falls from a great height, and she lands plop in this just between some houses. Think of Call of Duty Warzone and the sort of layout of the houses in the town, the sort of squares, and in the middle of there, it's basically one of them. And she's broken a leg. You can see her top, you know, they've got her leg snapped back and everything. But Ray Winston, who is our Russian bad guy, who can't do a Russian accent very well at all, but never mind. But I love Ray Winston. He flips a switch for her to kill herself. So she charges up all of her widow's bites and then poof, kills herself. And she's like, I can't stop myself from doing this. And Natasha was too late to break her from the to get the red to break her from it. So she self-deletes. And I'm just like, damn, this film is, you know what? Where's this film gonna go wrong? Oh, woe is me, I had to ask. Where's this film gonna go wrong? Because I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm really invested in what's going on, and I'm very much liking the Natasha and her sister, and I like the kind of plot that's going on. So it then turns into silly MCU film where we go to a gulag where David Harbour's Red Guardian is being held, apparently when he returned back from the US to Russia. His business partner, who was Ray Winston, betrayed him. Oh, beautiful. Betrayed him and then threw him in prison. Boo-hoo. So the girls are going to break the Red Guardian out of prison so he can tell them where the Red Room is. So we have this pretty goofy, very generic Marvel scene. And I was kind of checking out now because it was just typical explosions, typical uber threat levels. You know, everything getting shot at, but just putting your hand up and it's always missing. And it just, that really grounded beginning that we just had is now out of the window. It's all out the window, and now we're in the realm of stupidity. And I'm like, oh, man. So they break him out, and he's goofy, and he's silly, because he's the comic relief, and he's selfish. And he doesn't know where the Red Room is. He says, you need to go to speak to Mama, Rachel Weisz. She'll know where it is. Well, she's a widow. She would have been a more obvious choice, but okay. But they went to him first because they thought his connections to Ray Winston would mean that he would automatically know. So we have this goofy bit where he's kind of like, does Captain America ever speak about me? And he's just like, Daddy, you're so selfish. And then the girls are arguing with him. So he says, are you on your period? And then they talk about, no, we don't have periods because we've had our uteruses ripped out by the process of becoming a widow. So we don't have to. And he's like, don't deal about your, you know, they're kind of doing the whole whammy thing now. It's just like, oh, whatever. We get a little bit before then as well. We had a little stab at the superhero landing, and it was actually quite funny because her sister's going, how do you do the hair flip? You're always doing the landing on the hair flip. Why are you doing that? And it actually came across as quite funny, and I thought, oh, I heard that they mocked it. And I thought, no, somebody's just playing up on this. This is actually quite, you know, this is actually a legitimately funny little thing. But they never let it go. And they do it again and again in the movie. Until you get to the point, you're just like, wow, you know, just leave it alone. But whatever, that's just a side thing. So they go see Rachel Weisz. And I gotta say, the pacing is really starting to be, and it's all over the place now. And I'm sort of getting a bit bored. She's in a pig farm. We get a big exposition dump. That's the part where Red Guardian squeezes himself back in his costume. It's like, yeah, it fits. Yeah, after all these years. Then those two get all horny together. And then the girl's like, ew. And then they go off and they have various conversations in other places, and there's a you know, a decent bit. There's a decent moment between Natasha's sister and Red Guardian, and then Rachel Weisz tells Natasha that she's alerted the Red Room, and the Red Room are going to be here any minute, and they're going to capture everyone. So yes, surprise, surprise, a load of Ruski soldiers turn up. They capture everyone. Well, they capture the people who have been captured. Rachel Weisz is a traitor to them. She is loyal to the cause. So they're captured. Rachel Weisz is, you know, taken in normally. And they all get taken to the Red Room, which is actually a flying spaceship. Okay. So I'm sort of checking out now because it's I'm sort of feeling are we just retreading Captain America and the Winter Soldier here? Because it kind of feels like we're just sort of retreading old ground. And anywho, there was a part earlier in the film where Natasha and the sister are talking. And one of the good bits was that Ray Winston was their target. And Ray Winston's little daughter came back from school. And they classed her as collateral. And when they have targets, they have like primary targets. And then if somebody they go to isn't the primary target, they're designated collateral. Which means, you know, they're just going to be collateral damage, but that's c'est la vie. And so she talks about how she tried to blow up Ray Winston. He didn't die. The daughter did, though. The young little daughter died, though. So we're on the spaceship, and she gets the plan is sprung. And oh my god, it's not Natasha. She's got the squiggly face on from Captain America and Winter Soldier. Because like I said, they're just retreading old ground now. And she takes it off and it's Rachel Weisz. And actual Rachel Weisz is Natasha. And they swap positions so that Natasha could get to Ray Winston. So when she reveals it's her and Taskmaster's with them. So Taskmaster's there. Ray Winston's there, who's the big risky bad guy. And he doesn't seem phased at all. and he just tells Taskmaster to go and, I don't know, take care of the others or something or other. So they leave, and she's like, oh, you know, that was a bad move. And she gets a gun out, she points it at Ray Winston's head. Oh boy, folks, this is where everything is just about to fall off a cliff. And he's not worried, and then he's like, shoot me. And she can't shoot him. And he takes the gun off her, and he says, get your knife out and stab me. She gets the knife out, it's like, and she can't stab him. She's like, how are you controlling me? He says, I'm not controlling you. Because she was from the generation before they started doing all the mind control. She can't attack him. Because he has a pheromone blocker. Oh God, this is so fucking dumb. He has a pheromone blocker. So as long as she can smell him, she can't fight him. So he starts punching her, and she's like, oh, you're too weak. You're so weak. You don't think I can take a punch? He punches her again. She's laughing at him. He punches her again. She falls to the ground. She's still like mocking him and taking the piss out of him. And then we get a flashback scene while Rachel Weisz and Red Guardian are trying to sabotage the spaceship, and Natasha's sisters trying to red mist the rest of the widows. And then we get the flashback scene where Rachel Weisz tells Natasha that he actually has a pheromone blocker. This is back at the house. And the only way that you could, and she's like, well, I'll just not breathe. And she says, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to sever the carotid nerve or some shit. That's the only way that you can do it. And we go back to present day, and she's like, you were too weak to do it. And because she was trying to get Ray Winston to punch her to break the nerve. What? And so she smashes her head on the table to sever the nerve so she can't smell him anymore, so she can start kicking the shit out of him. I am dying laughing, by the way, watching this. Sorry, cinema, I do apologize. But I'm there going... There were some other people laughing as well. And then while she's kicking in Ray Winston, the rest of the widows, the programmed widows, burst in and grab her, and Ray Winston's like, because they've now sabotaged the spaceship and it's falling from the sky. He's like, kill her or something, but make her suffer first. So obviously, she's got time to escape. So they have a fight. It's now, because it's so ludicrous and there's so many people, it's kind of devolved into typical Marvel fight, which wouldn't really happen, but never mind. And so they're going through the procedure, and then they've grabbed Natasha after she's fought valiantly, and they're just absolutely lolloping the crud out of her. And then boosh, an explosion of red mist goes off because the sister managed to get there and throw all the vials and explode them above the widows. So all the widows' free will now comes back. Free will? Isn't that a theme in Loki where we have none? And they're just like, what should we do? And it's just like, live your life, go free, young widows, go free. And then they try and get off the ship. Natasha breaks her nose back into place again. I don't know, so she can smell chips in the future. And they blow up Ray Winston's ship. Long story short here. And then they have... oh, yeah. Sorry, I missed one thing. Taskmaster is Taskmistress. Because Taskmaster is revealed to actually be the daughter of Ray Winston. She didn't die in the explosion. She was disfigured. And she's had to have a chip in the back of her neck so Ray Winston can program her. And then when it kind of like pulls back so you see the whole suit, it's clear that they've CGI'd the girl on top of the Taskmaster, which is definitely a man. Now, I was thinking, wouldn't it have been more clever, considering this film is about women? Wouldn't it have been more clever if Ray Winston had a little son? And then the son was allegedly killed in the explosion. But no, they trained the son up to be the Taskmaster and give him the same abilities as the widows, who are all women. So you have all the women, and then you have this man who can fight exactly the same. But no, that would... I think that would have been too interesting, or just too different, because it's all got to be the Whammons. Anyway, so they managed to red mist Taskmaster after another fight, yada yada yada, and then Colonel Kane, I still can't remember his name. Is General Solomon. Anywho. The Russians all go off on a Quinjet or something, and Natasha basically hands herself in to the American authorities, and then we see 2 weeks later, and she's now got her blonde hair ready for Infinity War, and which was set up earlier. She had a blonde dye in a caravan. And her friend, who isn't worth talking about in the film at all, has managed to acquire her a Quinjet. So she goes Quinjetting off to her death, I guess. And that's the end of the film. Then we get a post-credit scene where her sister visits her gravestone after she's died. Who's it? Madam Hydra turns up and is as obnoxious as and unfunny as ever, and it's just like, "Hey, would you like to kill the person who got your sister killed?" And she shows her an iPad of Hawkeye, ready for the Hawkeye TV show, which is actually just going to be the Kate Bishop TV show. We already know. Don't even bother trying not to. So it like the first, I don't know, 25% of it I actually really enjoyed, because it looked like if it was going to be a real grounded, realistic, gritty, disturbing film. But no, then they just decided about 30% of the way through, no, this is going to be generic Marvel crap. No, it's not Marvel crap. That's not nice, but I've seen it all before. I've seen it so many times now. I'm bored. And then the ridiculous thing with Taskmaster, and the ridiculous thing with Ray Winston's pheromone blocker. I'll give it like a 6, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm feeling generous today because it's Friday Night Tights. But yeah. If I were you, I mean, go to the cinema and see it. I would probably wait for it to come off the Disney Plus money, and if you've got a subscription to Disney Plus, just watch it for free, your subscription fee, whatever. But I wouldn't pay $30 for it on Disney Plus and It was nice to go to the cinema, but yeah, I left kind of thinking I'm really disappointed. The film disappointed me because it started off, I thought, really well and then just declined rapidly into schlock. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.